Too many students struggle to access basic needs like fresh groceries, safe housing, and mental health services. As president, I'll help the food bank establish a location in IB and bring a monthly farmers market to campus. I'll also launch Rate My Landlord and distribute water and mold kits. And I'll increase funding for mental health first aid training, remote mental health support, and suicide prevention services. A student leader needs to be able to make a plan and work with others to see their goals through, something I've consistently done in my 3 years on an AS and an RCO. After seeing that overdose-related deaths were a problem at UCSB, I coordinated the first ever Overdose Prevention Week, working with Gauchos for Recovery to distribute thousands of Narcan kits before Deltopia. I'm also leading a project to make Narcan available in all campus housing to make UCSB a safer place. I would have consistent open dialogue with the Senate so that we can work together to achieve goals rather than against each other. I'd also encourage senators to communicate clearly and compassionately with other groups to make AS more collaborative and welcoming. I would meet with as many students as possible by hosting weekly office hours at the Arbor, where I give out free food and talk to students about their needs and aspirations. I'd also meet with clubs and organizations like the MCC, Cultural Resource Centers, and Undocumented Student Services to help uplift the voices of marginalized students. UCSB deserves a president who's not just experienced, but relentless in turning student needs into real, actionable change. I spent the last 3 years working across every corner of AS, in BCUs, executive offices, and clubs. I know how this institution works, and I know how to make it work better for students. I've built the relationships, institutional knowledge, and resilience it takes to get real results, and I'm ready to take that work even further. This position isn't about prestige or power, it's about showing up, listening with intention, and turning feedback into action. Whether it's supporting your basic needs, helping your orgs thrive, or just being someone you can actually talk to, I'll be your voice. AS carries so much potential to help students, and I plan to use it. No more empty promises. That means making AS more approachable, more transparent, and more connected to the everyday student experience. So vote Leanne Metzger for AS president, and let's build a UCSB where every student feels safe, seen, and supported together.
This ranges from the very small scale, ensuring this legislation is submitted by Sunday evening and that senators are attending committee meetings weekly, to the large scale of what Senate is supposed to be doing. This includes each senator submitting at least one piece of legislation per quarter, each working on at least one project at any given time, at least one per quarter as well, and ensuring that collegiate senators are advocating for the interests of their specific constituencies. The most immediate change from this year is ensuring that the president will be present at the Senate every 2 weeks. This is something that I would ensure as a co-executive. And making sure that more students come to public forum, not just the regular visitors, but representatives of RCOs and individual interests. This is an easy question. I would simply enforce legal code in a way it has not been this year. If a senator has more than 3 unexcused absences, they must be out. This is like any given job, except that it's even more important because we're paid by student fees and meant to represent each and every one of you. You have to be both an effective administrator and a good communicator. I have the first half not only as a senator and as someone who has worked in an executive office prior, but also as an RCO leader who knows how the campus process works. And the second skill of communication, I have secured because I yabble on.
The experience that qualifies me to be the next EVPLA is my time in the Office of the Attorney General in AS and my time in the Committee on Committees. As part of the Office of the Attorney General, we've done a lot of research into policing in our community as well as the poor water quality here. And in the Committee on Committees, I've worked with all the BCUs in AS and I've gotten an understanding of how financial and legislative processes work. This has allowed me to both know what the problems are in Isla Vista and how to solve them. In terms of collaborating with the IV Community Services District, there's two main things I want to tackle: the housing crisis and over-policing. For housing, we want to address this by connecting students to the mediation services that IVCSD provides, as well as distributing water filters and molding kits to tackle some of the poor housing quality we have. In terms of fighting over-policing, we're going to collaborate with them to get restorative justice on Deltopia and to expand UCIV out to multiple parts of IV. To combat sexual violence in IV, we're going to, 1, expand UCIV tents along DP out to the fraternity quad and out to the San Catalina residence hall. And 2, we're going to work closely with STESA to provide town halls and education for students, as well as trainings for State Street Bar employees. To ensure non-student voices are heard in my office, I'm going to host quarterly town hall meetings with representatives from IVCSD, IVRPD, and the EVPLA office, where students and non-students alike can come to the Pardall Center and voice any complaints or concerns they may have. Hi Gauchos, my name is EJ Rad, and I'm running to be your next EVPLA because I think our community needs change. Every single year, $10 million of the AS budget goes completely unspent. This is money that comes from your student fees that isn't being reinvested into you. I not only want to improve campus with this money, but I want to use it to tackle the two biggest problems our community faces: over-policing and the housing crisis. In terms of tackling over-policing, I'm going to expand UCIV tents out to the fraternity quad, San Cat, and more along DP, and we're going to get restorative justice on Deltopia. In terms of the housing crisis, we're going to establish a Gaucho Lease Ready program, which is going to help students get pre-approved for leases before they even apply, improving their chances of getting housing. We're also going to set up a Rate My Leaser website where students can put some of their complaints, concerns, and reviews of leasing companies that they've worked with. It's time for leadership that puts students first. Vote EJ Rad for EVPLA from May 5th to May 9th. Let's go Gauchos.
As someone currently engaged in housing research at UCSB, I believe I have a good understanding of the tactics that landlords use in order to keep students spending a lot of money on uninhabitable housing. I would use my background in research in order to facilitate better lobbying to increase tenants' rights in Isla Vista. I would also like to work with the Ivy Community Services District in order to directly empower students to advocate for changes they wish to see in their communities. I would do this by connecting them to resources or creating more resources. I would also like to work with Sydney Castaneda in order to expand on existing resources like the health and wellness vending machine, as well as increase the distribution of mold kits in order to create more habitable housing. As EVPLA, my platform would consist of increasing inclusivity, reducing sexual violence in Isla Vista, as well as increasing affordable housing. While it is important to increase the amount of resources available to students, I also think it is important to increase awareness of these resources so that students are aware of the resources they have available to them. I would also be openly against the suspension of restorative justice again in Isla Vista during Deltopia and Halloween weekend. I want to empower students to advocate for the changes they want to see directly to state and county officials. I would like to collaborate with organizations like TQCOM, STESA, and Take Back the Night, who are actively working with students in order to propose new legislation to the county regarding sexual and domestic violence. Isla Vista is unique in the sense that not only do we have students, but other members of the community to consider. I would host open forums with St. George Youth Center as well as Isla Vista Elementary in order to get a grasp on what other members of the community would appreciate.
Hi, my name is Sydney Bivens and I'm running for Student Advocate General. The Office of the Student Advocate serves as a mediator between students and the university. We have academic, financial, housing, conduct, and grievance caseworkers all equipped to help individual students with any problems with the university they may be facing. We can advertise our services with bulk emails that go out to all undergraduate students, educational workshops that are available to all students, and social media posts on platforms like Instagram and Reddit. I have 2 years of experience working in Office of the Student Advocate, and I currently serve as head of staff. I've rebuilt office infrastructure and overseen over 100 cases in this office. When I've previously supported students in Greek life, I've connected them to Office of Student Conduct, Title IX, and AS Legal Resource Center. Our office has long established relationships with many university offices that enables us to do so. Our office currently supports 8 non-English languages, including Spanish, Mandarin, and French. We also have held and will continue to hold specialized workshops for vulnerable populations like international, undocumented, and disabled students. Lastly, we are trained advisors for Title IX and are equipped to handle discrimination of any kind. In my 2 years of working for Office of the Student Advocate, I've built strong professional relationships with several university offices, including Office of Student Conduct, Housing, Office of Registrar, and the Disabled Students Program. In the past 2 years, we have partnered with Title IX to serve as trained advisors of the hearing process, successfully pushed for more transparent practices within the student conduct judicial process, implemented the Meal Swipe Rollover Program, developed the Go Gaucho app through the Technology Subcommittee, and hosted educational workshops. As your Student Advocate General, I plan to continue this work, educating the student body on their rights within the university through casework events and outreach, demanding additional transparency from the university, and establishing stronger safety nets for vulnerable populations. I also plan to work with the EVPSA to build a coalition of professors, undergraduate and graduate student researchers to prevent UC regents, to pressure UC regents and prevent further funding cuts.
The greatest issue regarding international students is isolation, that is physical, cultural, psychological, and most importantly, detachment from campus resources that intend to help them. My primary solution to that is simple, nothing but hard work, in-person promotion, and to build an international student social network from the bottom. My principle to serve my diverse constituents is to always listen, not assume, before I do anything. I personally believe that integration can only be done by promoting more interaction between domestic and international students. OISs, ISA, and other culturally specific orgs are very helpful in that sense, but they all need promotion that I mentioned earlier. I advocate for creating real interactive spaces for international students through social media and in person in the SRB. My primary goal is to channel all these resources to my community through direct contact, not passive invites in language that we have barrier with. And oftentimes, language is the reason people are not showing up to activities and resources. I believe I want to be a representative that is approachable and helpful, and that's the only way to be a successful representative.
Hello, everyone. My name is Samuel Safahi. For question one, the biggest issue I feel for transfer students today is feeling lost, like socially or academically, or not knowing where to start, or who to connect with, or which friend groups should you go off with, or where should you meet people. And I would advocate just for building social events like barbecues and beach gatherings to aim to rectify that. Um, as a transfer student myself, I'm familiar with the process, and I know what it's like navigating a system, not having much time, the rush of admission results and everything. I would try to maybe make an app or a official Discord server to reach out to students and be proactive and just communicate with them from day one. Tell them this is what you need to do. You're okay. You don't have to have anxiety. I would collaborate with the Transfer Student Alliance to host events, like I said, barbecues, and expand resources and really just talk to students and get them involved in any way that we can. To facilitate the integration of transfer students into UCSB community, like I said, barbecues, social events, just lots of gatherings and socialization. Discord server that's official, just reaching out to people. I'd let them text me anytime and just really take it from there. My closing statement is that I transferred UCSB because of the social aspect and the community and the people, the best people I think of any UC. And I want every student, every transfer student to experience that, to have that much fun and to like go to the beach and make a bonfire or just like meet people and find their group. So if elected, I'll work for that for you and make sure that your voice is heard. And you can talk to me anytime.
I believe the greatest issue facing new transfer students specifically is the struggle to build community and the struggle with imposter syndrome at such a large and elite university. Some ways I hope to address this is through clear academic advising, stronger transfer student orientation programs, and a more inclusive community building initiatives for people of color. As a transfer student who is a first-generation person of color, I've experienced firsthand the unique challenges that transfer students face while attending a new university. These experiences have made me deeply empathetic and passionate about ensuring transfer students are welcome, supported, and empowered to thrive. I would collaborate with organizations such as Transfer Student Alliance through attending TSA's meetings regularly in order to stay informed about current transfer student concerns to help TSA increase visibility by collaborating on marketing efforts. I would work with the UCSB's Transfer Student Center to expand orientation programs specifically through including small cohort-based events that include forming connections right away. I'm ready to serve, and I hope to earn your support as your next transfer senator.
The greatest issue facing transfer students is the hard academic adjustment without adequate support. CLAS is a godsend, but it lacks resources to cover all classes, and I want to change that with more classes covered, tutors to teach, and tutoring sessions available for any schedule. My experience as a transfer has been incredible, but it feels rushed with only 2 years. I want to make changes for more opportunities for transfers to get connected both academically and socially. I want to collaborate with this Transfer Student Alliance to strategize on events that connect all students, but specifically help transfers get involved fast. Things specific to transfer housing, but also fun and free events as a whole. I want to facilitate transfers into the community because a big challenge is organizing what clubs you want to join and the recruitment schedules for those clubs. I want to work with the TSA to have a master organization so everyone knows how to get involved quickly to clubs and organizations. In conclusion, the current Senate is failing and not enough is being done. You need someone who is going to work hard and put time into this. That's me. It's unfair that 35% of incoming students are transfers, yet we only get one senator out of 27 to represent us. I will use my voice and connection with other senators to make sure things get done to benefit transfer students. We only have 2 years here. Let's do everything we can to make the most of it.
The single item on my platform that's most important for me is AS communication, as well as communication with the student body, AS staff, and the AS organization. And through this, we can have more organization and it can promote for more efficiency with getting things done. I believe with first years, it's first most important to get involved with the school, and the bonds with AS will naturally come afterwards. Through RCOs as well as Greek life, students should get involved with these, and through this, first years can better understand how resources such as funding and getting assistance from AS would work. To improve residents' hall quality of life, I believe that we should promote and ensure that our shared spaces such as laundry rooms, kitchens, and study spaces are well maintained. Through cleanups and ensuring that the spaces are well maintained, the residence halls will feel more welcoming to the student body. And I also push for more improvement for Wi-Fi and technology resources such as getting packages. This will also improve residents' hall quality of life. To improve the situations of sexual violence, I would push for ensuring that there's more promotion of reporting resources and communication because students often forget about the mandatory training that they have completed. Through this and promoting these resources, we will ensure that students know what to do in the case of an incident. For my closing statement, I strongly believe in the importance of transparency within the associated students by fostering clear communication about funding processes and ensuring policies are easily accessible and understandable. We can build trust and accountability within our student body. I will push for a renewal of AS online systems, including updating our websites to make policies and meeting minutes more accessible, as well as improving online funding system. A better communication with AS staff, faculty, and other campus organizations is crucial, as I believe there is still a significant lack of organization in these areas. As your senator, I will create more transparency, enhance accessibility, and ensure that voices are being heard and represented. Thank you.
I plan to implement rollover meal swipes for all students. At UCSB, 48% of undergraduates face food insecurity. No one should have to worry about meal swipes being wiped out every week. I support programs such as the Pearman Fellowship Program, which I took part in myself. A live document of empty AS positions that is continuously updated should be sent out to all. In addition to rollover meal swipes, I'll fight to slow down the massive hike in housing prices and to keep a dining hall open on the first morning of school breaks. This will be staffed on a choice basis so that student workers who do not wish to work will not have to. To increase safety, better procedures must be followed for all entering persons. Currently, doors are locked 24/7, but other people just wait for actual students to unlock a door and then follow them in. Food deliverers should only be let in to designated areas right outside residence buildings. There should be large signs saying drop off food delivery here. And depending on how students feel funds should be spent, a new job can be created so that a student worker can safely bring the delivered food up to the right room. Making jobs available for students to earn money is an important part of my platform too. Paid AS positions should also be posted on Handshake. Vote Jasmine Wang for on-campus senator to alleviate food insecurity, better organize AS, increase safety, support survivors, and uphold the rights of all. Above all, I believe in serving my community. You rang, I'm Jasmine Wang, here to make a bang.
Compartmentalization is the single most important item in my platform. Senators within the association have a great responsibility as both students and elected officials. There's too much on everyone's plate. If we can compartmentalize the Associated Students government, more initiatives will come to fruition. Student fees are what keep Associated Students running. As such, Associated Students has a vital responsibility to carefully manage and allocate funds. While I do think it is important to sustain university-provided services, I think it is our duty as senators to keep students' best interests at mind at all times, even if that means rethinking our expenditure. It is important that Greek-like organizations understand that when AS funds philanthropy events, they are representing the associated students in UCSB at large. If there are instances where certain Greek-life entities are found to misrepresent the values of associated students, then I believe AS funding should be reevaluated on a case-by-case basis. My duty as an off-campus senator is to represent undergraduate students residing off-campus. If the current changes regarding the Department of Education reach a personable effect to any undergraduate students residing off-campus, I will navigate my role as an off-campus senator to analyze the situation and address it as needed. My goal as an off-campus senator is simple: take care of the student population at large while working with my other senators to make change happen.
Yeah, guys, so the number one item on my agenda is facilitating an active relationship between the Senate and the student body. In order for us as potential senators to effectively address your guys' concerns, we need to maintain an active relationship with you guys so that we are aware of what it is that we ought to be doing. We are aware of the solutions that we ought to be implementing, and our legislation is guided by your guys' needs and concerns. In regards to the maintenance of student fees and the various programs that they support, I am an advocate for student fees because it provides things like the food bank. It provides things like the rent assistance program that are invaluable to numerous students. In regards to Greek life, as long as the Greek life is responsible and upholds the values of the university, then I do believe that it deserves the support and the recognition of the associated students. And lastly, in regards to the Department of Education and how I plan on navigating the legislation and different federal updates that come during this administration and through the Department of Education, basically it's maintaining an active awareness. We have to be actively aware of what's happening on the federal level, and we have to be actively aware of how that affects the student body. And in order for us to do that, we need to be consistent. We need to be prepared, and we need to be active when it comes to our legislation, and we need to keep an open ear to the federal level.
Hello, my name is Erica Shurkin and I'm running for off-campus senator. The single most important item in my platform for me is a volunteering database. I'm aiming to create a volunteering app where you can see all the volunteering opportunities both on our campus, off our campus, in Goleta and Santa Barbara. My perspective regarding the maintenance of student fees is transparency and allocation. Students need to know where their money is going. My opinion on Greek life is it should still be supported by associated students. However, other students need to know where exactly and how exactly these associations are being supported. Lastly, in light of the current situation with Department of Education, I will make sure to stay informed about platforms and policies that are changing to make sure I can be the best representative on AS that I can be for our students. In closing, I would just like to reiterate my main goals as off-campus senator. My main goals are to create a volunteering database, to reform our meal plan, and also, last but certainly not least, be a representative for all voices on campus, whether you're a first year, a fourth year, or anything in between.
Hello Gauchos, what is up, what is goody, what is up, and what is goody? My name is Noah Lucan, I'm running for off-campus senator. Question 1, the single item in my platform that is most important to me is fee transparency. Gauchos deserve to know where their fees are being spent, and I'm going to make sure that happens. Question 2, the university should have at the forefront of all of their decision-making students. I'm going to work with administration to ensure that our fees are being spent in a manner that we would like. Question 3. Greek life is a great way for students to get organized on campus. I want to collaborate with Greek organizations to create a better and foster a better community on campus and in Isla Vista. Question 4. As an off-campus senator considering changes regarding the Department of Education, I want to do whatever I can to ensure that our campus continues to receive funding. Again, Gauchos, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching this video, to anyone who is watching, and please make your voice heard and vote. It is incredibly important. There are a lot of measures on the ballot this year that are going to affect you and students in the coming generation. So please, do the right thing, make your voice heard, exercise your civic right and civic duty to vote, and let's get this done. Let's go, Gauchos.
Hi everybody, my name is Evan Sussman and I'm running for off-campus senator. The single most important factor of my campaign is transparency. You're going to hear time and time again today, different candidates saying that we need to be transparent. We simply just need to communicate more, not only internally but externally within AS. My perspective regarding the maintenance of student fees is that we also need to be transparent. We pay northwards of $20 a week in AS. We have a $230 fee per quarter that goes towards AS, and we simply need to let students where their money is going and how they can make the most of their fees. My opinion on Greek life is that we need to support it. Greek life is vital to not only UCSB, but to Isla Vista and to our students, their well-being and their philanthropy. And it's a great way to get students involved, not only here in IB, but also in UCSB and in the cultural world of UCSB as well. I'll navigate my role as off-campus senator to not only support our students, but to ensure that our students have funding and resources from the federal government, and to ensure that we are following federal guidelines as well. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Iman. I'm a second year biology political science student, and for my single thing that's most important on my platform is for me, I think that my most important thing is making sure every student feels seen and appreciated, especially those coming from marginalized communities, whether it's faith-based communities or income students. I'm just trying to represent those voices and push for real change where it matters most. I think student fees should go directly back to us, our needs and our well-being. If we're struggling to afford food, housing, and basic needs, no reason our fees should fund anything that doesn't serve us. We should invest in the students, not in student systems that don't support us as well. And for third thing, I believe in all philanthropy events, Greek life or not. It should be followed by the same standard, inclusive, safe, and do they generally give back? If yes, I support them, but if not, it should be addressed before funding continues. Fourth one, I'll stay educated and outspoken, whether it's protecting Title IX rights, student aid, or academic freedom. I'll speak up for community and work with others to make sure that UCSB stands firm in the support of equity and inclusion, no matter what changes come from above. And for my first second closing statement, I'm running because I love this community, but I also see where it's failing us, which is why I want to work hard to give leadership that actually listens.
Hello, my name is Amna Chaudhry, and I'm a third-year second brain sciences major. I'm running for the university-owned housing senator. Number one, I think the biggest challenge is that a lot of students feel disconnected or forgotten about. Since university-owned apartments are farther away from campus, it's easy to miss out on events and resources or just feeling like part of UCSB. I want to help bring the community together by working with the RAs and housing staff to plan more fun and helpful events right where students live. I'd also share the information that for any events that we would have through group chats that RAs have, or flyers, or any social media like Instagram, so people can stay in the loop. I want to make sure students in these apartments just feel as supported and included as everyone else living on campus. Number two, I would make sure LGBTQ students feel safe and welcomed by supporting inclusive events and working with RAs to create spaces where everyone feels comfortable and safe. I'd also connect with RCSGD and LGBTQ plus organizations to bring events or workshops to university housing. Small things like having pride flags or posters, flyers, and signs that shows that we support is that like really matters. So I'd also make it clear that I'm someone that they can come to or reach out to with any concerns that they have without any hesitation, and I would do my best to make sure those concerns are heard and taken seriously. I'd work closely with SAC by going to their meetings and checking in regularly to hear what the students need and what they want. I'd help them plan events, whatever they need help with, connect them with resources, and bring their ideas to Senate leadership so we can get them funding and support that they need. I think teamwork is very important, so I would do my part to make sure we're all working together to make housing better and more fun and safe for everyone. Number four, commuter students are sometimes left out because they don't live on campus, but they still deserve to be part of community. So I would work on creating more daytime events that would fit their schedules better, and advocate for free or discounted parkings for those events. I'd also push for more spaces on campus where commuters can rest and study between classes, so it would be easier for them. I would also work with the commuter student network to hear their concerns and make sure they're included in any decisions that would affect them. Thank you so much for taking your time and listening to me. I'm running for this position because I really care about making sure all students, especially those in university housing or further away from campus, feel supported, included, and heard. I've already been doing the work through Senate leadership and other student organizations I'm part of, and I want to keep going. I'm someone who listens, who shows up, and who truly wants to make life at UCSB better for everyone. So I hope I can keep representing you and make real change happen. So please feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'm always here to help. I'm a resource. Please reach out to me without any hesitation. I would love to hear any of your concerns that you have. Thank you.
One of the issues that off-campus students face is a feeling of community. I would try to help out by creating events and bridging the gap between the apartments and the community. I would help out LGBTQ students be recognized by working with organizations and encouraging students to make comments at the AS Senate. As an off-campus senator, I hope to work with SAC by engaging in their community and their meetings. Something that I would do to help out the process of off-campus students feeling more comfortable and feeling welcome into the community is by creating events. I just want to close this off by saying that I hope to help out everyone in the community, and I'll do my best to do everything I can.
Many residents feel disconnected from campus life, and I address this by improving shuttle access, hosting localized events, and partnering with student orgs to bring programming directly to these communities. As for the second question, I'd support the LGBTQ residents through RA inclusivity training, visible affirming events with LGBTQ orgs, and anonymous feedback channels to ensure safety and recognition. I collaborate with SACC through regular planning meetings and co-sponsored initiatives focused on renters' rights, safety, food security, and cultural events tailored to off-campus needs. To include commuters, I'd advocate for hybrid events, a dedicated commuters lounge, extended resource hours, and a commuters week to boost visibility and engagement. I would like to say that as someone who's running for the university-owned off-campus senator position, I'm committed to making every resident feel seen, supported, and connected through inclusive programming, stronger communication, and advocacy for overlooked needs. I will work to ensure off-campus students are not just housed, but truly part of the UCSB community. Thank you.
I believe the greatest challenge students are facing in the College of Letters and Sciences is a lack of guidance from counselors on our academic journey. Going to public school, I feel like it's just kind of hard to accommodate a lot of these students because our population is just so massive. I feel like my past positions in high school, particularly those in leadership positions like vice president of the school and like presidents of 2 clubs, gives me the experience to run for senator well here, especially coming from a diverse LA high school. I feel like the most valuable resources to students here are our counselors, because it really sets us up for our future and guides us on the journey that we're on. If elected, I will invite students to come to meetings, like town meetings, to voice their concerns, as well as opening up a Google form to submit any quarrels that they have for us.
The biggest challenge at UCSB is accessibility. As Letters and Science Senator, I would work closely with department heads and administration to implement systematic changes that ensure every student can access the classes they need and receive proper accommodations for their education. While I'm new to student government, I'm ready to learn quickly and be a strong voice for change. One of my key priorities is making AS's $15 million budget fully transparent. Students deserve to know exactly how their fees are being spent. I'll create monthly budget breakdowns in plain language and push for student input in funding decisions. To stay connected with student needs, I'll hold weekly office hours and regularly visit residence halls. We need better communication about available resources from academic advising to mental health services, and I'll make sure that these resources are prominently featured in my regular updates to students. These aren't just campaign promises. They're actionable steps we can take to make UCSB work better for everyone. With your support, we can make real progress on these issues.
I believe that the greatest issue facing students in my college is the lack of knowledge of the resources that they have available to them. There are so many resources available to letters and sciences students that they are just unaware about. And I will address this right at the beginning, during orientation, either through leaflets and or Canvas modules. Well, I founded the YDSA chapter at my high school, and I'm the current project director for the first president pro tempore, so I've always had a passion for campus politics. My current position on AS has shown me exactly how AS works, as well as how the 3 legislative branches have worked. I also have proxy Senate meetings for many current senators. I believe that access to scholarships and housing information are an issue that affects everyone on campus. And I said before, I will make these resources more known through leaflets and online modules that will make everything our campus has to offer more readily available. Either through office hours or on social media, on my Instagram at Sohan for Senate. Please vote for me if you want to sail with Sohan.
Navigating bureaucratic basic needs and support systems are often neither proactive nor culturally responsive. From housing and food insecurity to confusing funding systems, students often fall through the cracks. I will push for clear communication, streamlined processes, and stronger outreach to make sure support reaches those who need it. I currently serve as a QTPOC liaison on the Human Rights Board and as a member of the Senate Outreach Committee. These roles have taught me how to advocate, listen, and respond quickly to student concerns, especially during moments of crisis. Programs like the Food Bank, Financial Crisis Response Team, and cultural orgs are vital, but too many students don't know how to access them. I'll work to increase visibility through pop-ups, digital guides, and culturally relevant outreach. I'll stay connected through weekly office hours at the Arbor, consistent social media updates, and open feedback forums. AS-related or not, I intend to make sure students know I'm listening and accessible. Every student at UCSB has a story, a perspective, and a lived experience that deserves to be heard and valued. I want to bring those voices into the center of student government. One must consider the difference between equality of opportunity and equality of outcome. This distinction rewired how I understand systems of access and guides how I think about change. Our systems claim to offer equal opportunities but rarely ensure fair or just outcomes. Let's shift this dynamic together. Vote Melanie Jones.
For our first question, I think the main issue that students are facing in College of Engineering is a lack of internship opportunities. The career fairs aren't enough, and a lot of companies aren't coming. So I think one way to address would be to market ourselves more so that more companies can come to our career fairs. For the second one, I do have experiences with various on-campus jobs and internships, and I think I do know all the opportunities that UCSB has to offer. So I think I can also help students navigate through this and provide opportunities regarding internships. I think the most valuable resources that are available to students are the career services, where you can get resume help and also CLAS. So I think maybe again marketing more and letting more students know would definitely help in that. And if elected, I think my main goal would be just to present myself out more, and also maybe conduct tabling workshops so that students know what's happening and what things that I'm doing, so that it will help them to also um, look at all the opportunities that are possible. So my main goal for running for COE would be just to let students in the College of Engineering get more opportunities in terms of internships, and also let them know of all the resources, amazing resources UCSB has, such as CLAS or other career services with resume help. So thank you.